Introduction to probability part 2. In this part we try to introduce some examples with the solutions. أمثلة بتطبيقات. probability rules اللي احنا أخدناها last time هم we have 4 probability rules. Union, probability of E or F, probability of E union F. That means a rule saying that equal probability of E plus probability of F minus intersection. One of the main points, how we know that we have union in the question, the keyword. The keyword in that case, or at least. So that in general to know that we have union. So in the question, if you have or you have at least. The second rule, the complement. Probability of E complement equal 1 minus probability of E. Third, conditional probability. Probability of E given F equal probability of E intersection F divided by probability of F, and the reverse case. The last probability rule, the intersection, and we said we have different cases. Can be from the union, can be from the conditional, or can be in the case of the independent events. How I know it's conditional question? To simplify عشان الحاجات تكون بسيطة، ازاي اعرف في السؤال ان عندي union لو كان الquestion بيسأل على 2 events one of them يقول لي مثلا A or B او at least one of them. How I know that it's conditional؟ نعرف انها conditional انه لو كان في الquestion في given او if او among all the words اللي هي بتحوي معنى شرط او conditional. الانترسكشن الكيورد الأساسية هي and we both. الإكسامبلز ناخد مع بعض الأمثلة والحلول. Example 1. If you are tossing a coin 3 times, what is the probability to have only one head? لو في عندنا coin عايزين نجيب what the probability that it lands on heads exactly one time. معناها لو أنا عندي عملة بلقيها 3 times 3 مرات، عايزين نجيب احتمال نحصل على one head. To answer that question and to find the probability, we need first to find the sample space اللي هو ال S. If you have 3 coins as we said before إن ال S في حال in the case of the 3 coins هتبقى عندي 8 points. ال 8 points دول ممكن يكون very simply إنه ال first and the second and the third coin they have heads, أو in the first time or second time or third time we have heads. يبقى ده first outcome. In the same way we can find all the combinations. We find them as 8 points. This is all the points. Now the question. السؤال بتاعي اللي هو الموجود ايه احتمال يكون عندي صورة واحدة؟ هنشوف how many times we have only one head. Only one head. Very simply we can see that this is for only one head. We have these 3 points. These 3 points, now we have only one head. So now the answer for that question, that the probability of E, which is getting only one head, equal 3/8. That's the answer for question or example 1. Example 2. If we defined the universal set U as all the positive integers less than or equal 15, and we define 2 subsets A and B, and we have A the integers that are multiplies of 3, and we have B the integers that are factors of 30. Question 1. List the elements of A and of B. السؤال معناه كده لو عندنا universal set U هي عبارة عن ال positive integers that less than or equal to 15. يعني لو عندنا U هي set فيها الأرقام الصحيحة من 1 إلى 15. we defined ال A إن ال A هي عبارة عن مضاعفات الرقم 3 integers، وال B هي عبارة عن الأرقام integers اللي هي عوامل 30. very simply ال points in A including مضاعفات ل 3 multiplies of 3 اللي هي 3 6 9 12 15. So that will be the points. That will be the points in A. For that A now. For B, the factors of 30 اللي هي العوامل الأولية للرقم 30 اللي هتكون between 1 to 15 وتكون أرقام صحيحة. حال إن الفاكتورز دي can be 30 can be 2 times 15 يبقى we have 2 and 15. يبقى now the first two factors can be 2 and 15. Also can be 3 times 10, then 3 and 10. Also can be 5 times 6, then we have 5 and 6. Other factors can be, but not included in B because we have two conditions. In B, integers and subset of U. That means 1 times 30 cannot be included because 30 greater than 15. 4 times 7.5 cannot be included because it's not integers values. That A and B. So question 1 list the elements of A and B. That's what we answered. Now we find the elements in A and find the elements in B. Question B. Place the elements of A and B in Venn diagram. So that means after we find the elements in A and B, we need to visualize that in the Venn diagram. So very simply, Venn diagram including all the 15 values. So now we have all the 15 values. That the first circle for A, we have 5 values, 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. And for B, we have 6 values, 2, 15, 3, 10, 5, and 6. And we have an intersection between them. It will be the 3 values which we have now. So now we have 3 values as the intersection between A and B. So that's the Venn diagram. Still outside that 2 circles, we have 7 values not included. So now we can say we have another 7 values outside because in that A and B we have 8 values. So we know now we have 5 values in A, we have 6 values in B, but A and B together we have 8 values, so we have 7 values remaining, which the values 1 and so on until you find out all that values not included in A and B. In A or B indeed, to be union. Question 3, still we are now in example 2. Now we have that Venn diagram. And now, if you have a number that's chosen at random, find the probability that, question 1, find the probability to be both a multiplies of 3 and a factor of 30. Indeed, now in that question, it's intersection. Now look at the saying a multiplies of 3 and a factor of 30. That means probability of A intersection B. And for A intersection B, we have 3 values. Then the probability of that equal 3 divided by 15. Okay, 3 divided by 15. Question B, neither a multiple of 3 or a factor of 30. That means what is the probability to be not in A and B? So indeed that means 1 minus the union or the complement of the union. So 1 minus probability of the union. So the answer for that 1 minus probability of the union. We have 7 values outside this A or B, so now the answer it will be 7 divided by 15 because now not in A or in B, that means the 1 minus probability of the union or the complement for the union. Question 3. Question 3 we have a long story saying that if you have 3 in newspapers, A, B, C, and we have the probability for each one, and we have the probability for the intersection between each 2, and we have the probability of the intersection or the percentage of the intersection of all of them. So from that data, if you read that example, we can find out that first, the probability of A, 0.4, probability of B, 0.3, probability of C, 0.1. Probability of A and B, it's 5%, that means 0.05. And we have A and C, it's 0.4, and we have B and C is 0.3. That from the, still, I have that from the example. And the last information saying that A and B and C that equal 0.02. Indeed, it's that one, it's 2.02. So that's the information which we have. Now we need to visualize that in Venn diagram to answer the questions. How to visualize the Venn diagram, so that the information. And now to answer that, we need to visualize that in the Venn diagram. Very simply, for the Venn diagram, as we said, for each event we have circle, and all of them, they are intersected. We have intersection between each two, and we have intersection all of them. So very simply, now we have this figure. But how I can put the values? First, I need to visualize that. So the intersection for all of them, which this area, it's 2%. And now based on the data, that equal 2%. And then the intersection between A and B, this area, it's 5%. So 5% including 2%. So the remaining now is 3%. And the 3%, that means A and B only. Okay? So that now the 5% for A and B. Second, A and C. A and C, it's given 0.04, 4%. And now we have 2%, that's the area. A and C, this is the area for A and C. And now we have 2% between all of them. And then the remaining, it will be 2%. 2% plus 2% equal the 4%, the probability for A and C. B and C, it's given 0.03. For all of them, we have 2%. So remaining now, it's 1%. So 2% plus 1% will give you the 3%, or the probability 0.03. So now we have all the intersections. It's done. So what is the probability of A? Probability of A, it's 0.4. So all the circle of A now, all that circle now, it's indeed 40%. Out of that 40%, we have intersections. We have 2% plus 2% plus 3%, and all of that will be 7%. So the remaining for only A, it's indeed 33%. In the same way, we can find for B, intersection 6%, it's 30%, then remaining it's 24%. Similarly, for C, it's 10%, in intersections it's 5%, so remaining it's 5%. If you add them up, A, union B, union C, you add all these values, you'll find it's 70%. So now outside that, it will be remaining, it's 30%. It's indeed 30%. Okay, it's not working that what I need, like at the end it's 30%. Okay, so 30% presenting that reading none of them. So that means we can visualize all these for the question 3. So question 1, what is the probability to reach only A? Reach only A, very simply, it's 33%. It's 33% from the Venn diagram. Second question, reach only B, it's 24% from the Venn diagram. Reach none of them, that means the 1 minus the union. 1 minus the probability of the union, that equal 30%. So the answer for that question is 30%. Okay, so that question 3. Question 4. We have a long story. From that story, we have 3 information. You can read it carefully. From that example, we can find out 3 information. The first one saying that the probability that he will get the scholarship, we say probability of S. This is the first information. So you can write that down. So now the first information, that one, the probability that Roy will get the scholarship is 0.3. So now probability of S equal 0.3. From that information, we can directly find the complement. Probability of S complement equal 0.7. Okay. The second information, if he gets the scholarship, the probability that he will graduate is 0.85. So that conditional. Now, if it's conditional, we have first S, the scholarship, and the second event, the graduate. So we can formulate that way. Probability of G given S. As we explained the meaning of the conditional, we say the first event will be the happen first after the sign. So G given S, that means getting the scholarship first and then graduate. So that equal 0.85. So the second information conditional. The third still it's conditional, but saying if he does not get the scholarship, the probability he will graduate is 0.45. So now probability of G given S dash, S dash means does not get the scholarship. That equal 0.45. So now we have the information. We find out all that. We have only 3 information, and from the probability of S we have the probability of S dash. يبقى احتمال انه ياخد المنحة 0.3، احتمال انه ما ياخدش المنحة 0.7، احتمال انه يتخرج بشرط انه اخد المنحة 0.85، احتمال انه يتخرج بشرط انه ما اخدش المنحة 0.45. Question 1. What is the probability that Troy will get the scholarship and graduate? When you read that question, you find the word and. So now and means intersection. So very simply, that question means probability of S intersection G. Probability of S intersection G, or you can say probability of G intersection S. So that's the formulation. What is the probability that Troy will get the scholarship and graduate? That means probability of G and S. We know that from the conditional. I can remind you, from the conditional rule, we have probability of B given F equal the probability of A intersection B divided by the probability of B. So in that case, we have the conditional data, and we have the probability of A, and we need to find the intersection. Probability of A intersection B, that means, in our case, that the probability of G and S. So how I can find using conditional? That equal probability of G intersection S times the probability of S, direct substitution, that now the probability. So that question 1. Question 2. Based on that information, the same. What is the probability that Troy will not get the scholarship and will graduate? The same. It's intersection. Why intersection? Because we have and. But the formulation now is a little bit different. So the same question, the same idea, intersection, but the formulation is different. Now it's probability of G and S dash, or probability of G intersection S dash. Using the same, the conditional, it's now can be written as probability of G given S dash times probability of S dash, so that the direct substitution in that case. Okay, another question. Question 3. What is the probability that Troy will graduate? Very simply, that the question means what is the probability of G. So very simply, probability of G now, it's not only one case. We have probability of G given S dash and probability of G given S. So we can say probability of G بالعربي معناه ايه احتمال التخرج، ايه احتمال انه يتخرج. ده معناه احتمال انه يتخرج ومعاه المنحة، واحتمال انه يتخرج وليس معه المنحة. يعني probability of G now can be formulated as probability of G intersection S, or now it's plus probability of G intersection S dash. So احتمال التخرج اللي هو الجي في عندي two cases، في عندي حالتين. الحالة الأولى يتخرج معاه المنحة، أو اللي هي or في probability معناها plus، أو إنه يتخرج وليس معه المنحة، يعني probability of G intersection S dash. Very simply, that our answer in question A plus our answer in question B. Okay. The last question. Still we are in example 4. Question C or D, sorry, question D in example 4. Suppose that now if you are reading that question, what you can find out, he's assuming that if he's graduated what is the probability he did get the scholarship? Very simply, assuming now we have G first, what is the probability of S given G? So it's conditional. So that question, it's conditional. What is the probability of G given S? So we have, in that question, we have G first, and then we have S. So that S intersection G divided by the probability of G. So probability of G, it was our answer in question C. يعني احتمال التخرج احنا لسه جايبينه من شويه اللي هو ده. اللي هو based على two cases بتوعنا، والانترسكشن ده احنا جبناه في question A اللي هو الانسر بتاعته ده. يبقى عايزين نقول ان question D assuming first graduation and then what is the probability of S given G. and somehow هنا في update for the probability، وده بيعتمد على theorem بنسميها البيز theorem. It's not included in our course، لكن ده can happen. يعني ممكن حد يسأل ازاي يجي عايز احتمال يحصل على المنحة بشرط ان هو اتخرج والمفروض العكس. لا، ده بيحصل انه you can update the probability which you had before. يعني ال conditional probability كان ممكن تتعكس بالشكل ده، وبالتالي نجيب ال probability of S given G not G given S. دي كانت البوينتس، دي all the points for question 4. يبقى الستوري how to answer انه first we have to extract the information, then formulate the question, and then try to use the probability rules to answer. The last question very simple. We can have a last question, very simple question, question 5. Question 5 saying that if you have 25 students, 15 of them study marketing, 13 of them study mathematics, and 5 of them study both. So very simple information. يبقى عندنا one event اللي هو الماركتينج وعندي 15. second event mathematics we have 13. والlast event اللي هو intersection of them اللي هو both اللي هو 5. Question 1 saying Venn diagram. We need to plot the Venn diagram. Very simply, we have two circles, one for the marketing 15 and one for the mathematics 13. But how we can plot? First the intersection. Now we have an intersection, it's 5, so that's the intersection 5. And then the marketing, all of them 15. Out of the 15 we have 5 intersection, the remaining 10. For the mathematics, all of them 13. Out of the 13 we have 5 intersection, the remaining is 8. If you're adding them up, marketing union mathematics, now it will be 23. 10 plus 5 plus 8, 23. A total 25. So then now we have 2 remaining out of the 25. That means study none of them. Not studying mathematics and not studying marketing. So the first question, or the second question, sorry. What is the probability that the student studies both of them? So what is the probability to study both? So that means the intersection. We said both and somehow meaning the intersection. So that equal 5 over 25. Third, what is the probability study only marketing? Only marketing from the graph, it's 10. So 10 over 25. What the probability to study mathematics if he's already studying marketing? That question is conditional. So now I have to highlight that. So F now means intersection. So math given marketing. Based on that we can write the formula for the conditional. So for the conditional it's the mathematics and marketing divided by marketing, because we have mathematics given marketing. Substitute and find that in the formula. We don't need to write that in percentage, indeed. So it's enough to say 0.33 or 0.33. Okay. Question 5. What is the probability that the student studying none of them? It's 2 over 25, as we said before. The last question, what is the probability to study? What is the probability? Sorry, the last one has to be the union. Probability to study marketing or mathematics. It's union, not none of them. So that one has to be highlighted. So it's not none of them. It's indeed mathematics or marketing, so it's union. So that means probability of marketing or mathematics equal probability of marketing plus probability of mathematics minus the intersection. Direct substitution, now it will be 15 over 25 plus 13 over 25 minus 5 over 25. No, it's not 5, it's 2. It's still, sorry for, oh sorry, yeah, it's okay, it's right. So 15 plus 13 minus 5 equal 25, that equal 0.92. So now we have a union, the probability of the union equal 0.92. So that's all what I try to present. دي الأمثلة والتطبيقات الأولى. في another part إن شاء الله it will be for the cross tabulations or continuous tables, and we can add that for the probability part to be the last part. Thank you.